There's nothing more inspiring than hearing real people overcome real challenges to get the results they want, especially when those are the same results you'd like to see in your own life. That's why in this bonus episode, we are going deep with an amazing woman named Tammie Mathews, who's actually been there and who's finally seen massive results after struggling for so long. I can't wait for you to hear her story. Welcome to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast brought to you by Thinlicious. I'm your host, Ruth Sukup, and here we'll talk about everything from the science of weight loss to practical tips for making your health a priority in the midst of a busy life. It's a little bit nerdy, a little bit funny, and a little bit revolutionary. So buckle up, friend, because it's about to get real. Hey there, and welcome back to the Feel Better, Live Free podcast. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ruth Sukup, and I'm the founder of Thinlicious and the creator of the Thin Adapted System, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of 7 books. And in this special bonus episode, we are taking a deep dive into what transforming your life through adopting the Thinlicious lifestyle actually looks like by sitting down to chat with one of our amazing clients and now TAS certified coach, Tammie Mathews. Tammie joined our program back in 2022 and lost more than 50 pounds, and in the process discovered a whole new confidence. So much so that when we launched our certification program last year, she was one of the first to sign up. Because, as she always tells us, this program changed my life. But honestly, it's better to hear her talk about it in her own words. So, without further ado, here's what she had to say. Tammie, I'm so excited to talk with you today. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Ruth. I'm so excited to see you and talk with you as well.
Oh, I know. It's been a little while. We haven't seen each other since when? Last August?
Yes.
Is that it? I
Yes.
know. And
It's
now
been a
since
long
then,
time.
you've become a certified coach in our program and you're killing it and you're rocking it. I love it. So why don't we back up just a little bit and start a little bit from the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what makes you tick, where you came from, what you're doing.
Okay. No pressure. So my name is Tammie Mathews. I am a, first of all, customer of Thinlicious. I have been doing it since June of 2022 when it first launched. Since then, I have actually lost 50 pounds. I live in Georgia, and that's currently where I'm at. And like Ruth said, I work full-time, and I also am a certified Thinlicious coach.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So let's go back, if you can remember this long, and like kind of start at the beginning before you joined TAS and what that was like for you. Like what made you even want to join our program in the first place?
So it's not a secret, I think. When you're overweight for most of your adult life that you need to do something. But I finally had an aha moment when I was grocery shopping by myself, and I didn't know if my knees were going to hold up, if I was going to be able to make it to the front of the store, make it to my car. I was alone. All I could imagine was knocking over shelves and making this huge scene, and like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So panic started setting in, and thank goodness I was able to make it to the car, made it home. And that's when I was like, okay, you got to do something. What I thought at the time was I needed to lose the weight to make everything else better.
Yeah.
Little did I know until after TAS.
So before that, like, had you tried other diets? Had you tried to lose weight in other ways?
I had tried just faintly. I thought I was always pretty confident, and I was having some digestive issues. I thought it was due to gluten. So I did try it through gluten-free, and then it helped, but I couldn't stick with it. It was just harder for me to a degree because there's so much gluten in everything that I normally ate. And so then I tried when I tried to go home and research the plans, I thought, okay, Weight Watchers, it's been around forever, tried it before, didn't really have much success before the point. So let's just give it a try. There was a few people I knew that was already on it. So let's give that a try. I was actually doing that before Thinlicious launched.
Oh,
And
really?
yes, I had actually signed up because I knew I had quite a bit of weight to lose. So I thought, okay, it's going to take me at least 6 months or longer to lose what I thought was a halfway decent amount of weight. And I thought, okay, we'll just try it for 6 months. I was in my third month. Then Licious launched. I signed up. And then the fourth month, I canceled. And I had to pay to
So we beat Weight
cancel.
Watchers.
Yes.
Good. Even with Oprah? Come on.
Oh, yes. That's another story, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Come on. Ruth beats Oprah. Yeah. Ruth won, Oprah zero. No.
Yes.
So funny. No, I did Weight Watchers too. And and because everybody does Weight Watchers probably at some point and all the points, and then you get like all the 0 point foods and all the things. But unfortunately, doesn't work. Doesn't
Well, it
work.
doesn't teach you what you need to eat.
No. Very, very true. So why did you decide to do TAS? Just because you're like, well, it's Ruth. You knew Ruth, and you're like, I'll try it. If it's Ruth, I'll do it.
I did. I was following you for a little while through another one of your episodes, your Do It Scared podcast.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, she looks amazing now. What is she doing? I knew it was coming out. I actually missed the first 2 days of the launch, and I caught it on the third day, and I was like, oh. And so I started reading the excerpts, sorry, and it listed hamburgers, pizza, and I'm like, I can't even eat that according to Weight Watchers now. That's some of my favorite foods.
Yeah.
What's well, we got to find out more. Plus, by then, I was already so frustrated with Weight Watchers because I knew what I had been doing for the last 20 years wasn't working. So I didn't know what I needed to actually do. And one of the things that you said is that you would teach us how to eat for our bodies. And I'm like, that's what I need. I need to be taught what to eat.
Yes. Yes.
And if those are on the list, okay.
If hamburgers and pizza are okay, then I'm in. I love it. I love it. Our food is really good. I must say, our food is
Yes.
really good. So what was your biggest hesitation? I mean, besides the fact that you had already like committed to doing Weight Watchers and signed up for 6 months, did you have any other challenges or worries or concerns about it?
Well, I actually didn't know really what it was all about. I literally took a leap of faith. And that probably worked to my advantage because if I really knew it had anything with a similarity of a low carb eating, I had some friends that were doing the traditional keto and some dirty keto. I'm like, oh, that is not for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's probably a good thing. But now I've learned the real ketogenic aspects of it. And our program isn't exactly like a ketogenic, but there are some similarities. But I
Right.
can understand the difference now.
Right. Right. One is designed to heal your body. And the
And
other,
tastes delicious.
yes, exactly. So, okay. So you've lost 50 pounds.
Yes.
And what else has changed for you since losing? I mean, 50 pounds is a lot. Like that's a life-changing amount of weight. So how has, because it's been a little while too. So
Yes.
how has that, like, what has changed for you in your life? Like before and after, give us the picture.
Okay, before I was exhausted, like came home from a sit down desk job now to where I was like, okay, I need a nap before I can do anything else. Don't and let me nap for like an hour or two. And then I could still go to bed at a decent hour and try to sleep through the night. So it was exhausting. That's what I remember the most. I didn't realize how miserable I was until now. I thought I was a confident person, but now I see things in a completely different light. My mindset is just like, yes, let me try. Let me see if I can do that.
Oh, I love that. And I've seen it in you. Like I've watched you blossom now through this program and just like come out of your shell and be so confident. And as like coming in to be a coach, like people rave about you as a coach because you just like exude this like positivity and energy and kindness. And It's amazing. I love seeing that. So now that you kind of get to see it from the other side, what what advice do you give? Like what advice would you give somebody who's just getting started, right? And feeling overwhelmed or scared or doesn't know like what to do, how do I do this? Why would I even want to do this? Oh, do I have to give up car? Like all of the things, right? Like all of the hesitations that people have. Like where do you start with that? What's your advice?
Well, first of all, if you're actually looking into this, then there is a part of you that knows that you need to do something and that you want to do something. So take that and go with that feeling. Let that be your ruling feeling. Because when you start looking at it and then you start looking at, oh, okay, this is what they say that we can have. And then you start thinking of, oh, I can't have that, I can't have this, then that's going to bring all those fears into your brain. The fear of, can I do this? Can I succeed? Can I actually learn this? Don't let that fear take over. Jump in, do it. Because if I can do it, I know you can.
Aw. So have you had any struggles along the way? Like what has been the hardest part?
Um, there have been some struggles, and I think that's normal. If it was so easy, I think it would be a it wouldn't be an issue for people. And for so many, especially in the American
Yes.
society, if it was so easy. So there's going to be struggles. You still have to deal with life. And that's actually, I just mentioned to Ruth, that's what I'm going through now. Um, I'm my life is turning a little bit to where I'm becoming a caregiver to my parents. And
Mhm.
that's very hard. I never wanted to be a nurse, but I'm having a crash course. And
Wow.
so, along with that, the extra stress is quite a substantial amount for me right now. And in all honesty, I know that I'm letting that control me a little bit more than I should. So that is something that I'm working on. And so with that has brought on a little bit of stress eating, but it's also hard when you're sitting in the hospital for a week or two and you don't have control over your food. You can't run home and make it. And so talking about missing your food, it the stuff that you make, it's not prepackaged stuff that you're getting out. You just miss that cooking and that simpleness. So there's going to be struggles. The difference now is that this is not defining me. I know that I'm still going to get where I'm going to be, where I want to be. This is just a little bit. And once I get myself settled, my brain calm back down a little bit, then it's going to happen. And I'm
Yeah.
still so far from where I started that
Yeah.
I'm still so excited to just be here today.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's like the mindset shift that you can hear when you talk about this, right? Like, yes, I'm going through a really hard time right now. Like, life has thrown a lot at me. I mean, it's a huge deal when your parents are sick and you're having to be a caregiver and all of that. But you also like you have the tools, you have the knowledge, you have the education, you have the understanding, and you also are able to give yourself grace, right? To realize like,
Yes.
yes, this is the situation that I'm in right now, but when I have the opportunity to make the right choices, the choices that I know make me feel good and that nourish my body, then that's exactly what I'm going to go back to because I miss it and I love it. And that's what I want to be doing and the way that I want to be eating. So like I can just hear that in the way that you talk about it, Tammie. And it's inspiring because the reality is that that happens for all of us, right? Like I'm going through the whole stuff too, right? My daughter is a senior and she just graduated, and it's been crazy and insane. And you have like if you can't approach this of knowing I'm going to do the best I can when I can, but I'm also going to give myself a break if that's not like if I'm not perfect right now. It's not all or nothing. It's so not all or nothing. And so often I think, especially when you're on those like
Yes.
really calorie deprivation programs, that it becomes all or nothing.
Yes. It's not a marathon.
No.
It's just is you take your time.
Yeah.
You make it take weeks or months or years, whatever it takes, and you will get there. And
Yeah.
that's the way I feel. The bad
Oh,
thing is just and everything that we do know. And now you see stuff that like the hospitals are doing, and it's so frustrating, and it just adds to your stress. I mean, these poor people, these, all of the insurers and all that stuff that are prescribed for elderly patients. Have y'all looked at the ingredients in those? It is so sad.
Yeah.
And so
And then you wonder
it,
why we have a health crisis in this country. It's
yes,
it really is. It's sickening when you know what the right stuff is, and then you see it and your eyes have been opened. It does. It makes me sick to see it
yes,
all.
yes,
Just and the prescriptions and the pills that they're just shoving at people, and all of it. You
yes.
know. So, do you have any tips? I know life is crazy for you right now with all the caregiving and everything that you're doing, but what has been most helpful for you in just like dealing with this in your day-to-day life and implementing this lifestyle in your day-to-day life? Like, what are your biggest tips?
My biggest tip is don't compete with anybody else, because you're competing with yourself.
Mm.
Your mind, it would be your biggest competitor. And in my case, sometimes I have a bully inside there. And so that's my biggest issues. It's not what I see everybody else doing. Yes, they may have reached their goal way quicker than me, but that's okay, because I'm going to reach that goal. And that's the main thing, is that you reach that goal. And so don't let fear get in your way. You just try it. Give it a couple of months at least, and allow your body to do what it needs to do. And that's the hardest thing too, is I see this a lot, is that people's bodies are healing, but you can't see that on the inside. And so you think nothing's happening. And then in just a week or 3 days, you look back and you think, oh wait, I don't need that nap. Look, I'm just still trucking along, and I didn't have lunch today. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I love that. What made you decide to want to be a coach in our program?
Well, if you can't tell, I absolutely love talking about this, and my family and my friends are so tired of hearing about it. So,
I had
um,
to find somebody else to talk to about it.
yes, I mean, I've been wanting to share it with people. And so to be in our group, I mean, that's the thing. You don't have to do this alone. Come join us. We want to be able to talk with you, and we want to be able to help you along, answer questions, or cheer you on. If we have to, yes, we'll say the hard things, but that's not really my forte, but I will.
You got a little fire in there. There's a little southern fire in there. I love it. Well, and I think that people don't understand too is like the power of having a community when you're trying to lose weight and get healthy, right? That's just huge in general, but it's especially huge when you're trying to do something that even though even though it shouldn't be counterculture to eat the way that we advocate for, right? To talk about let's eat whole foods that don't have chemicals and processed ingredients in them, and let's eat food that nourishes your body. Like it almost makes me crazy sometimes when I think about why is this rebellious that we are talking about healing your body through food instead of pumping you full of drugs and crap processed food, right? And yet it is. And there's a lot of people that don't understand it. And so they're like, oh, what are you doing? That can't be healthy. That can't be good for you. And just the poo-pooing that happens outside when you're trying to get healthy. I think there's something, the support that you get inside a group like this. What has that meant for you? Like first as a participant in our program, and now like how do you see that like helping the people the women that you're mentoring?
Well, if anybody knows me, they know that I am generally a very private person. So for me, doing it on my own was the way that I thought that I wanted to do it. And then because when I came in, Thinlicious was so new, we were attending some of the live videos and classes, and you get to see some of the same people on there. They start asking the questions that you're thinking but are afraid to ask. And you're like, oh, I really relate to that person, or I completely can see that person. I understand what's going on. So that just that little spark of somebody else is doing this and they feel the same way truly inspired me with a lot of some of the beginning people that were joining at the same time that I was. They may not even know that to this day, but they still inspire me to this day.
Oh,
And so that has been a huge help for just me. And like I said, I wanted to do it on my own. I didn't even tell people that I was starting anything new. I told a few people that I was starting Weight Watchers because I knew they were doing it. And I knew I'd have questions. Um, and it was easier for me to talk one-on-one because before this and before getting to the point that I'm at today, I would have never done be a coach and do any kind of video calls and all of this stuff. This is amazing that I'm even here. And so now I'll get to talk to people about it. I just can't stress enough that, we really want to help, and we love giving our ideas. We don't know. We're not your body, so you still have to figure it out, but we can just bounce ideas off between the two of us. And then that person can really see what works for them. Again, it's learning about what works for your body and who tells you to eat till you're full and teaches you all this stuff to learn to be able to tell if what you're eating is good for you and that your body's receptive to it.
right.
Is there any other program that does this?
No, not that I know of. Certainly not Weight Watchers. No. And that's, I think, what is so cool too, is everyone in our certified coaching program is someone who has actually gone through the program and experienced the results. So you're not just getting somebody who's extremely knowledgeable. And as you can attest to, our certified coaching program was very intense. Like, you have to learn a lot of stuff to become a certified coach in our program, and take tests and do test practice coaching and all. Like, there's a whole piece of it. But
Can I just say something to that?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
nervous.
that was the first time. Okay. My mom got sick at that point. So that was my first process of going through our caregiving a little bit. Okay. Then we have the holidays in through there because it started like right after Halloween. So
Yep.
then we had the Christmas and Thanksgiving and Christmas right after that, plus all the added stress of the holidays. And we're going through this coaching thing. Let me tell you, it wasn't for the faint of heart. And there were some times that I thought, "Ooh, okay, it'll go be. There's a light at the end of this tunnel."
And and I
There
mean,
was.
but it's a lot. But I think it's so cool to know that everybody that has been certified as a coach in our program has also gone through the program, and they get it, and they've lost significant amounts of weight through there, but they also have learned all the stuff that you're talking about, right? Like, that you have to actually listen to your body, and every body is different. And so we don't take a cookie cutter approach to the program either. We give you general guidelines, but it's also,
Yes.
there's sometimes a process of figuring out exactly what your body needs, and how, and working with the coach to be able to get that is so good and so important. And it's amazing to, now that I've been able to watch you through this whole journey, it's so amazing to see that transformation, Tammie. I'm so proud of you. I feel like such a proud mama. I mean, it's like, it is. There's just nothing like that, because I experienced that transformation for myself. And then when you get to share that with other people, and now that you see that as from a coaching perspective, like, it's amazing. Like, you want everybody to experience this, like how good you can feel, and how you do not have to be a slave anymore to food addictions and all the pain, and being tired all the time. Like, it just, so much of your life transforms, and it's not just your body. It is like your entire energy, your entire mindset. And I've watched that with you, and I just love it.
And you may be the person sitting out there listening to this thinking, I feel pretty good, but because I was that person, I knew I was tired, but I thought, I'm almost in my 50s. I'm in my late 40s starting this. I'm going to be tired, but I didn't know I could feel this amazing, y'all. I mean, truly, try it for yourself.
You have to try it. It
Yes.
truly. Okay. So last question. What do you wish you would have known then that you know now?
That's a loaded question. It really is a loaded question. Uh, okay. I don't think I can just pick one thing.
You don't have to pick one
First, okay.
thing.
First of all, knowing that I can do it, which means that you can do it, uh, that is huge. How much that we give you, the meal plans, the prepping, then the added benefits of all the knowledge from you and Dr. Edie. I mean, it's just amazing how much information that is provided in the TAS program. That's stuff that you get to take with you for life. So, what, I mean, what I wish I'd known, I mean, that it would work, that you get so much bang for your buck. I mean, to be able to feel this good, there's nothing bad.
Nothing.
Like, yeah.
So have you convinced your Weight Watchers friends to join?
That's a sad thing. In
Not yet.
all honesty, some of them really don't even need to be on Weight Watchers.
Oh,
So I don't really understand why they continue, but that's just like their little safety net
their
thing.
little thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
So,
I get it.
uh, yeah, your family's the hardest people to convince.
It's true. It's true.
And so
And your
they,
friends.
yes, they see it. I mean, I'm not going back, knock on some wood, but I have no intentions of ever going back to that.
Yeah.
Um, you just feel too amazing. So
Oh, I love it. Well, Tammie, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I'm so inspired by you. And I'm so, so, so grateful for you as a coach. And like I said, the feedback that we get from your coaching is just incredible all the time. And we're just so thrilled for you and your journey. And I know that you're going through this hard time with your parents right now, but I also know that you have the attitude and the mindset to make it through. So, congratulations.
thank you, Ruth, and thank you for creating this program and for allowing me to continue and to be a part of the coaching system because it
Oh,
really has been an amazing journey.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks, Tammie.
Thank you.
Don't you just love Tammie's story and her attitude? It's so good and so inspiring because, like she said, if she can do it, you can too. And I guess that brings me to the end of this bonus episode, but don't be sad because I will be back with another new episode very soon.